Welcome to the haunting of the paranormally possessed. Today I review The Devil Inside. No soul is safe. Directed by William Brent Bell, starring Fernanda Andrade, Simon Quarterman, Evan Helmuth, and Einette Grandma. The film is a documentary style where the character Isabella is trying to find answers about her past. Her mom was locked away in an asylum in Italy, and she thinks that maybe there's something wrong with her genes and she fears of becoming her mother. And to get the answers, she goes off to Italy and documents the whole thing. She doesn't know if it's something that is a mental issue or something of the unexplained. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I loved that this was shot like a documentary. I know found footage films are something that not everyone really enjoys, but I think they did an excellent job in this one because to tell this story and make it believable, it had to be shot like a documentary. And I liked that we have our camera operator and we have our main girl, Isabella. And it's just the story of them going through Italy and them learning about exorcisms. And I think that's cool because it's something that you don't really know about. And it could be like a real thing. There could be this order of priests that only deal with exorcisms. There may not be. I don't know. But this film made me believe that this exists.
How do you know when it's real?
You know.
And because they're going to different exorcisms and they're not just focusing on one person who's possessed, it makes it that much more believable and it makes it that much more creepy because we're seeing this contortionist who's like possessed by a demon and it's interacting with Isabella as if the demon knows who she is, and you're sitting there and your hair's standing up and you're just like, man, this is downright freaky. There's like hardly any jump scares and the whole film is just built around tension. This is one of those movies that it starts off with a 911 call, and it is probably the creepiest 911 call I've ever heard. It's just a woman saying that 3 people are dead in a raspy voice.
I killed them. Send the police.
Ma'am, excuse me, who did you kill?
I killed everyone.
And then the way this film ends, and I'm not gonna spoil it, is just also creepy because you don't see it coming. Other than Isabella, who's our main lead, and Michael, who's the camera operator, we have 2 other characters who are priests with the Catholic Church, and they specialize in exorcisms. And I think it's cool because we're learning the behind the scenes of it, and with these 2 characters, you're kind of getting a different perspective of science and religion. And on top of that, they also have like a dark history behind them, so you don't actually know what their past is, and they allude to it, and then as the film progresses and more possessions happen, it gets more creepy. And one of the most intense moments is the baptism scene. You have to see this movie just for that scene alone because it is messed up. A lot of the hate and dislikes are probably gonna come from the fact that it's a shaky cam movie. It's a documentary, it's not stable, so the cinematography is not that great. There's a few moments where you may get a little motion sickness, and when you're trying to really portray a film that's supposed to scare you with an interesting story, and the camera is constantly moving and slanted, it doesn't really get its point across. I know when I saw this in theaters, I actually had to leave for like 1 minute because I was a little queasy, and I don't get motion sickness. And the person I was with is still pissed off to this day that I left for 1 minute because they were scared. And I came back and I got yelled at. So probably gonna wanna watch this one alone because you may get a little sick and you don't wanna leave your partner by themselves. The Devil Inside is probably one of the scariest films I've seen in a long time, because it doesn't use jump scare tactics. Instead, it creates a realistic story and shoots it like a documentary. And if you really want to scare someone these days, you have to incorporate that realism. And this film did an amazing job with that. I enjoyed all of our characters. They were very believable. Even if this order of exorcist priests don't exist, I believed it. The shaky cam is definitely the weakest part of this film, but to give that realistic effect, you kind of need it. Overall, I would definitely recommend going and check this film out. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this 4.5 out of 5. Thanks for watching, like the video, and comment below with your thoughts on the film. If you haven't seen it, there's a link in the description. And if this is your first time to the channel, make sure to subscribe.